7:14 on a cold November Monday morning. Hey,
Hey,
day
Dale.
week.
Man, I'm going to tell. Well, you know what? I've had a change of plans.
What?
We're going to be open Friday.
Why?
We haven't been open for a while on Friday, on the Friday after Thanksgiving, and we have gotten several calls from people with kids coming in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
From college that needing some stuff done, and
Gonna accommodate.
talk to the guys, and it looks like we're going to be open this Friday. It's the first time we've been open the Friday after Thanksgiving in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
It's been a while, so it's not going to kill us.
Okay, so you got a 4-day week.
You got a 4-day week. It's not going to kill us to work.
Yeah, same here. We'll be here on Friday.
Yeah, it's not going to kill us to work the day after Thanksgiving every once in a while. But yeah, we'll be open Friday, 8 to 5. Give us a shout if there's something you need. We'll get you in. Absolutely.
Okay. So what are we going to talk about today? We checked out some motor mounts last week on my vehicle.
Yeah,
And, well, right now, tire pressure is probably a big issue with the temperature dropping. What was it here, 37 degrees this morning? It may go to 57, 58 degrees this afternoon.
Yeah, this is the time of year we check a lot of tires.
Mm-hmm.
Most all of our vehicles now are new enough. They've got the tire inflation monitoring system installed. And people get out in the morning, they start their car, and there's a little low tire light on. So, and it's a pain in the neck at times, but it also has a purpose. It has helped people that I have talked to that be going down the road and their light come on and pull over, and sure enough, they've got a nail in the tire. It's low, and it stopped them from maybe running on a really low tire and having a blowout. So it's helped people. And yes, there's a bunch of those lights on right now.
Yep.
And what was it yesterday morning? 23, 4 degrees, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And if your tires are marginal or close to being at the lower end of their inflation, that cold weather can sure turn that light on. And if it does, come by, we'll air them up for you and get it off. Some of those lights, when you air them up, they go off immediately. Some of them have to be drove a little ways.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a big deal. Yep. We had a busy week of it last week. A lot of stuff going on. Our credit card machine decided to quit about lunchtime Thursday, so that always makes things interesting this day and age, right?
Don't you love it? Don't you love it?
Well, knock on wood, that's the first time in a long, long time we've had an issue like that, but that was the end of it, and we're supposed to have our new one there today so we can get caught back up. Well, we rely on technology so much anymore. You know it?
Just hope the squirrel don't eat the wires outside.
Just hope that squirrel leaves our wires alone.
So you ready to do some oil changes today, tomorrow, and Wednesday?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oil changes, brakes, shocks, alignments. We've got a lot going on. This is one of those weeks right here where usually on Monday and Tuesday we're swamped with people. Wednesday morning we're going to be pretty busy, but usually right around lunchtime on Wednesday, things kind of peter out. And everybody's hit the road that's going somewhere just about.
Yep.
And so, yeah, we're ready. We're good to go. The Thanksgiving holiday, I always kind of like it. We can sit around with our kids and grandkids and family and maybe not lose our mind about Black Friday. And it's a good day just to kind of kick back and relax. And, people have heard me talking about it. I've got a couple of grandkids now, so it's always a little more fun when you got little old kids around.
Sure. Yeah. A lot of fun.
Yep. And the big thing right now, especially after yesterday morning, we need everybody who has any questions in their head about antifreeze.
I was going to bring that up now.
Yeah. You said that about Murfreesboro, and you're right.
I'm surprised they're that cold this morning. Boy.
Yeah, it's chilly.
Yeah, it is.
But yesterday morning, like I say, 20s, low 20s, mid 20s here. If you've got any questions about your antifreeze level of protection, swing by. We can check it for you. It takes just a few minutes. And if it's been a long time, if you don't remember, if you think about it and can't remember the last time you had your antifreeze changed, it may be due because, most of your antifreeze now, they have the extended life stuff like in the GMs, but it's still recommended for 5 years.
I'm hoping mine is really long life.
Yours is the super long life, right, Dale?
Like a cat,
Yeah, I got 9 lives.
Well, I think we're used 33% of it so far. But I hate messing with antifreeze.
Well, yeah, most people do. It's not easy in ways if you don't have the equipment to do it. Like I said, the GM stuff's recommended for 5 years. So, man, you think about it, a 2010 car, you're about right now ready to look at having an antifreeze change done if you follow manufacturer's recommendations.
Yep.
And, we can buy the little testers at Walmart and check the level of freeze protection, and it may say 20 below zero or whatever. So it's not going to freeze. But antifreeze, like other fluids in our cars, have an additive package, and a big part of it is to keep down corrosion.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And make life easier on all those aluminum parts. And when you look under the hood of a modern car, there is a lot of aluminum. We got heads and blocks, radiator, heater core, all this stuff, So
yep.
If that additive package is broken down, then we may be looking at corrosion starting, and we don't want that because it eats up radiators, head gaskets, heater cores. We had a Jeep in the shop a couple of weeks ago, had less than 50,000 miles with a leaking heater core.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But it was like an 06, something like that. Just hadn't been driven much. But man, the heater core, it was one of those, Dale, that the heater core was bad enough when you turned on the blower motor, you could taste antifreeze inside the Jeep. Yeah, you could taste it. Yikes.
Did Chrysler decide to put a used one in at the factory that year?
I don't know what Chrysler did. But that wasn't the best of heater cores or probably the best of coolant, but it didn't, had less than 50 grand on it. So let's check our antifreeze for sure, especially if, when people are headed up north for a few days. Make sure we get a check on our tires. Not just inflation, we need to look at the tread, where the tread depth. We need to look under the hood. We check oil, transmission fluid, look at the belt or belts, make sure they're ready for the road, double check lights, make sure our headlights are good and bright, double check brake lights, tail lights, all that stuff. And another one that's overlooked a lot, wiper blades. Apparently, according to your weather forecast, nobody's going to need them today unless you're in Maine. But, that the weatherman that I watched this morning has got it looking like a very rainy Thanksgiving 4-day weekend.
Really?
Yes. Brandon Beck on Springfield has got lots of rain coming in.
Really?
So we need some good wiper blades, good tread on our tires will play in on these wet roads. Lots of stuff. And make sure with our washer fluid, sometimes we when you venture out and you get up north and it gets cold enough, I've had several people come in with their washer tanks that have frozen and burst.
Ooh.
Maybe in the summertime you've put water in it or something along those lines, and when it gets this cold, it'll freeze and bust those water tanks. Those washer fluid tanks.
Want to have some fun? Put dishwashing detergent in them.
Well, and a long time ago, my dad, in his older years, got mixed up, and I was taking him to a doctor's appointment one day in his pickup. I reached over and hit the washer fluid, and it was just like you pull blinders down. You couldn't see. I got pulled over, and I said, "Dad, what have you done?" He goes, "I don't know. Just put a little washer fluid in it the other day."
Oh, no.
I got out, and it was antifreeze.
Oh, no.
He had poured antifreeze in his washer fluid tank,
and
you talk about a slimy, smeared up mess going down the road at 55.
How did you ever get that off the window?
With an old shirt he had behind the seat. Yep, he sure did. He got mixed up and poured antifreeze in the washer fluid tank. But so we had to take it off and clean it out. But things like that happen.
Yeah. Wow.
But if anybody out there needs their car looked at, worked on, checked over, whatever, give us a call this week and get it in, and we'll do that. And hopefully everybody has a nice, safe Thanksgiving weekend, enjoys themselves, and
it'll be fun.
Everybody's cars run perfectly.
Yep, it'll be good.
Yes.
The check engine light's on.
Right.
Plug in and check it.
Right.
Make sure that all the emissions are going right.
Yep. And so many. There's a lot of people. Quite a few people who run around and they know they've had their check engine light's been on and they've had it checked, and it's some little old mine or something, and they don't want to fix it, so the check engine light stays on all the time. But of course, the downside of that is you don't know maybe when there's another problem shows up.
Yeah.
And we've had that instance a lot where somebody comes in and says, well, my car isn't doing this and doing that. And I said, it's got a check engine light. Yeah, but it's been on forever.
Well,
and
you've maybe had this problem forever.
Well, but what happens is, let's say it comes on because of a bad gas cap, something like that. And they go, I'm not going to worry with it. Well, then all of a sudden the car starts to idle rough, or it's missing, or whatever. Gas mileage drops off. Your computer may have logged another code, but you don't know because the check engine light's already been on or been on for 6 months. So we hook up and check it, and then we find out why their car's running bad, you know. And it's just one of the side effects of having a check engine light on. And there's a lot of them driving around with them on, you know. And, Yep. Especially since those, you know, evaporative emissions, they have issues with that stuff, and a lot of people are just not willing to pay what it costs to fix it, or don't worry about it because their car runs fine. So they have check engine lights on.
Interesting.
And if they get enough of it, you'll see them come in, they have black tape over them.
Or shove something in the dashboard to block it.
Yeah, there'll be something. You will see several cars or trucks come in with a piece of electrical tape over the check engine light. You know.
All major brands of motor oil and lots of oil filters in stock.
Yes, we have Pennzoil, Quaker State, Castrol, Motorcraft, Haviland.
They still make Exxon Superflow?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Do they really?
Mobile One, Castrol, Syntec, there's synthetic oil. We have Amsoil, Rotella, and we have it in
Dello?
No, we don't have any Dello. We've got one guy that uses that Dello, Delvac, the mobile version of diesel motor oil. We got one guy that uses it.
Really?
Yep. And everybody else either uses Shell Rotella in 1540. A small number of people use Shell Rotella Synthetic in 540. And we have two guys that come in that use Amsoil 1540 diesel oil. That's it.
Wow.
And 99.5% of our diesel customers run Rotella 15W40.
There you go.
It's a proven product.
Speaking of diesel, DEF, diesel exhaust fluid.
Yes.
You want to take a minute to talk about that?
We keep some of that around, and for the diesels made in the last 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years.
Diesel exhaust fluid there's a tank on your truck. Chevrolet, you fill it under the hood. Dodge and Ford, you fill it where you fill the gas, where your gas fills at.
What's the normal capacity?
Dale, it varies vehicle to vehicle. Yeah, I want to say somewhere between 3 and 5 gallons.
Really?
And it's injected into the exhaust to clean up the tailpipe emissions.
Hallelujah.
Yes, and now when they first come out, most of the trucks didn't even have a gauge. You didn't know exactly how much is in there. It might have a warning light that'd come up and tell you when it's low. Some of the newer trucks I'm seeing come in has a diesel exhaust fluid gauge. It's like a gas gauge, shows you how much is in it.
It's got a Dodge or a Ram, and it's got the DEF gauge on it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm seeing more and more of that. And you know, if you fill your diesel exhaust fluid tank up and you're driving normally, I think that stuff lasts pretty good. If you're pulling horse trailers or camper trailers, whatever, making it work, from what I understand, talking to the guys that have them, you can go through a tank of DEF pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how many times we got behind one of these trucks and you get behind all that black smoke?
Right.
You may have the heater defroster and bringing in all that stuff, you know, and the DEF is designed to clean that out.
Well, and part of that, too, if you've noticed how most of the diesels now are very, very clean, you see a lot of trucks come in that guys have put aftermarket performance chips on. And that's when you start seeing a lot of that black smoke rolling.
Really?
Yeah, factory setups just don't do that.
Huh. Wow. Minute Mechanics located Highway 201 North across from Salvation Army. 425-3135 is their number. Give Mike and the gang a call. They're going to be there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. They're taking Thursday off, so give them a call today, 425-3135. They'll be anxious to get you in and get you back on the road, so you have a good Thanksgiving.
Yes, absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
You too, Mike.
Enjoy it.
And I guess we'll see you next Monday.
I'll be here Monday.
Yeah, and you're going to be working Friday.
I think so. Yes, absolutely.
So we'll be getting those folks in that need some last-minute repair to get back home for the holiday or after the holiday.
Right.
Yeah. All right, coming up, we've got the news break coming up. Fred Ramey's going to give us a call here, but he's talking with Fred for second half of the show, so stick around. We will be right back.